To illustrate semantic cohesion, we will examine two modules of an enterprise. The equipment warehouse serves a warehouse clerk to manage the inventory of the enterprise and distribute equipment to the rest of its units. Equipment purchasing is in charge with provisioning new items, and some provisioner is utilizing this service to make new purchases. Now we can imagine that these modules are either classes, packages, or maybe some aggregate of objects. And for the equipment warehouse, we might have a feature or function for checking out the item, removing the item from the warehouse and moving it to some other part of the enterprise. Likewise, we will have the check-in function where we want to take some old or unused equipment and move it back into the warehouse for maybe selling or moving to some other organizational unit. Regarding equipment purchasing, we might have a request purchase function that will be used by the provisioner to contact the suppliers and have them make an offer for this equipment or item that needs to be purchased. Now, we might expect some form of tendering procedure here and a function called complete purchase that is invoked when the purchase is complete, when the payment is made, when the items arrive. In this ecosystem, we want to introduce a new feature related to expanding the inventory of the warehouse. The idea is for the purchased items, the newly acquired by the provisioning module, to be introduced to the warehouse inventory for further distribution. At this point, we might wonder if the function is better suited in the equipment warehouse or the equipment purchasing module, since both modules in some way interact with it. Now, from a structural cohesion perspective, it doesn't really affect the bottom line where we place this inventory, this expansion for the inventory, as the structural cohesion will remain mostly the same. Regarding semantics, we will see that there is a difference. And for now, let us examine the case when we have correctly identified that the expand inventory feature belongs in the equipment warehouse. The idea here is for the purchasing module to take the new items and invoke the expand inventory of the warehouse and supply these items as input. In this case, we can calculate that the semantic cohesion of the warehouse module regarding the inventory concern is maximum, is 1. Likewise, the provisioning module regarding the purchasing concern also has maximum cohesion. So from a semantic standpoint, we have distributed our features to the correct module. But let's say we went with a different route and we incorrectly classified the expand inventory function to belong to the provisioning module. Well, now we can examine the semantic cohesion of both modules and see that the cohesion of the warehouse module regarding the inventory concern has actually decreased. Now we see that semantic cohesion doesn't only consider the module and its composing elements, but the broader scope as well, looking at the concern, or rather all the elements that work towards the concern, including those outside the module. Likewise, the provisioning module has its semantic cohesion decrease regarding the purchasing concern, which is expected since we have introduced some new unrelated functionality to it. We can also calculate the semantic cohesion of the provisioning module regarding the inventory concern and see that it is quite low, which is a clear indicator that this is a misplaced responsibility.